It is time now to look ahead to one of the biggest games of the weekend, Chelsea versus Manchester City, an intriguing one from an FPL perspective. Let's start with Romelu Lukaku. Ben, can you see him returning in this match?
Yeah, I think he's good enough to score in any game, really. Possibly you're not expecting too big a returns. I could easily see this being a 0-0, or it could be a 1-0. I do fancy Chelsea in it. So if it's a 1-0 and he's the person who score, he could end up on 9 points. And so, yeah, you're very happy with that. So, yeah, I don't think there's any fear if you've got him in your team. I wouldn't say it's worth bringing him in for this game. It's worth waiting a week for his fixtures to get better. But as an owner, I think you're happy with Lukaku in your team right now.
Yeah, that's been my thinking. I've kind of been waiting to get this fixture out of the way. But do you back that up, Gianni, that he can score against any team?
Yeah, I think so. When we look at his time in the Premier League, first time round, and in Serie A, he was a bit of a flat-track bully. He sometimes went missing in the big games. Saying that, when he was at Inter, their biggest game is against AC Milan, the Milan derby, and he always turned up in that fixture. You could argue Chelsea's biggest game is against Man City, so he might just turn it on. But as Ben said, they're often quite low-scoring games, these. We wouldn't be surprised to see a 0-0 or a 1-0. So I wouldn't be bringing Lukaku in this week, but certainly from game week 7, wow, those fixtures turn nice.
Well, one of the reasons why it might be low scoring is Chelsea's defence, which has been pretty extraordinary as we check out the fixtures coming their way. You mentioned a lot of green there. But yeah, Chelsea yet to concede a single goal from open play this season, which, given the fixtures that they faced, is really impressive. Who are the best options then at the back for the Blues?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question. I think we all need to be looking at least one Chelsea defender moving forward when we see those fixtures, possibly the double-up. There are very few absolutely nailed Chelsea assets. We know Tuchel likes to rotate the back line. Rudiger, however, is one of those that plays the most minutes. So Rudiger's the safest pick. We saw him just score last time out, but he doesn't offer the same upside as the wing-backs. So perhaps you want to... It depends what sort of FPL manager you are. If you like the safe bet of Rudiger, or you like the upside of someone like an Alonso.
Right. If you're going for two, who would you have?
I would go one safe and one little bit rogue.
Rudiger
so I'd go Rudiger and Alonso. I mean, Alonso is playing like a wide forward. He loves to get forward and we will get goals. The question is, will he become a rotation risk when Chilwell hits some form? And the answer is probably yes, but we don't know when that's going to happen. So for the time being, I think Alonso is fairly safe.
Right. Ben, you just wildcarded. Did you bring in any Chelsea?
I got James in. So unfortunately he didn't play last week, so I kind of missed out on the six. One. I'm hoping that just means that he's going to play the next one. And I think with easier games, especially at home where maybe they need to break down teams, he's a better wing back up.
Know about the Man City attack. We're always worried about rotation, but at the back we can almost guarantee a few of the names that we think will start. So Diaz is an ever-present. When he's fit, he starts. And Cancelo, most of the time when he's fit, he starts as well. Cancelo offers the upside. We know he likes to take up those attacking positions. You often see him drifting into the central midfield areas. So for me, I think Cancelo just edges it, although he will miss probably 3 or 4 games extra on top of Diaz throughout the season.
For you, Ben, who's the outstanding Manchester City defender?
Yeah, I think it's close between these two, but just Cancelo. I think this season, the situation with Man City's fullbacks, I think Cancelo's going to play more than what he did last season. And it's kind of his spot to lose at the moment. The fact that he's got the flexibility between right and left back is definitely a bonus for him. And I think, yeah, just the additional attacking potential of him. He has the really big hauls where goal and assist or 2 goals, like, is in his capabilities. So I've gone Cancelo. I think Diaz is a close second.
All right. A quick word on the Man City midfield minefield, where Ferran Torres has been a popular pick so far, but of course he didn't get the nod last week, and then Pep instead gave him a run out midweek in the League Cup against Wycombe Wanderers, as did De Bruyne and Foden. So where does this leave us?
You never know, do you?
Yeah.
It changes game to game. I think on current minutes, it looked like Grealish is possibly the only attacking one who's safe, but they've not had De Bruyne and Foden at the start of the season, so you really don't know how much they mix it up, because you would have thought when De Bruyne's fit, he's definitely going to play, so someone's going to lose the spot. And even Bernardo Silva's been getting bets, a little bit like the Chelsea defence. If you go for two of them, you should get one starting, but it's difficult. I mean, Foden's been a bit written off, but he's brilliant player and could easily, he's one game away from everyone going, I need Foden in my team.
All right. Gianni, you have Torres in your team at the moment. What are you doing?
Yeah, and I know the risks involved with Torres. If you buy him, you have to be willing to take those benchings. So I'm holding him, and I know he might not start in the next couple, which are tricky fixtures. Pep often throws a curveball, plays KDB as a false 9. But in the easier games we've seen so far this season, Torres plays as the 9. Pep has likened him to Jamie Vardy. We're seeing Jesus out wide. For me, I think Torres is a really nice pick if you're willing to ride the wave and have a good bench option if you need it.